Hi folks, Simon here, welcome back to the channel. Just a quick update video for you because Square have put out some new information regarding the release of Final Fantasy VII Remake Intergrade, which of course is coming out June this year for PS5. Now, the most important thing that we've learned today is that the Yuffie centered DLC episode that's going to be available with the game has its own title, and that title is episode INTERmission, inter being in caps, and then mission being in lower caps. I've got to be honest with you, I'm not the biggest fan of this title. Like with many of other Square's games, they do like to try and just confuse audiences with how they title their games. Of course, it's going to be connecting the original game, or rather part 1 of the remake, with part 2, which we haven't yet had any information about. But with the actual PS5 release being called Intergrade, like I say, it's just a recipe for confusion in my opinion. I'm not a big fan of it. But that's what it is. I'm sure the game itself is going to be a lot of fun. And of course, it's going to be focused on Yuffie, which is something we already knew. What we didn't know is that Susie Young is going to be voice acting the character for us. And along with that, they've also revealed some other character information, at least in terms of characters that are going to be in Intermission, along with their various voice actors here. So on siliconera.com, we've got the full list, or at least the list that's been revealed so far. Now, of course, a couple of these characters were already previously revealed to us. Sonon and Vice, we did know were going to be in whatever it's called, Intermission. I'm forgetting already, look. But we didn't know that some of these other characters that were going to be making their appearances. And there's some screenshots or captures or whatever you want to call it of the various characters. So I'll leave a link to siliconera.com here so you can go and check out the screenshots for yourself. Now, some other information that's been revealed is actually part of the combat mechanics and how Yuffie is going to operate during battle. So it seems that she's going to have a number of unique abilities. I'm just popping over to IGN here where there seems to be a decent description of them. So the first thing that's important to note is that she's going to be able to attack with long-range ninjutsu, and that can be imbued with various elemental powers. Now, we're going to want to use a lot of this ninjutsu stuff because it seems that that's going to be tied to her other special ability, which is banishment, and the more we use that ninjutsu stuff, the more powerful banishment is going to be. Now, at first when I saw the phrase banishment, I thought, is this one of those Final Fantasy JRPG abilities that just expels enemies from the battlefield, which could be fun, but apparently it is a damaged base ability, also determined by how much ATB is spent before you use it. And yeah, Yuffie also has another ability called Windstorm that will create a damaging gust of wind, damaging nearby enemies and launching them towards her. So it seems she's going to have a bit of a unique play style, which is something we expected, of course, especially after the trailer for Intergrade a few months ago. And yeah, I'm very much looking forward to it. We've also got a little bit of information here about Vice. For those that aren't aware, Vice is actually not a new character. He was a character that was in Dirge of Cerberus, I believe it was, the Vincent story that was released on PS2 a few years ago, well, a lot of years ago now, time does fly. And I think that was the last we saw of Vice. So the fact that they are bringing compilation characters into Final Fantasy VII Remake is something that I think a lot of people have been expecting. So Vice is presumably going to be the main antagonist for Intermission. And whether, you know, we'll get to kill him or whether he'll be part of the story going forwards, I guess we're not going to know until we play the game. And Vice is going to be voiced by Damon Mills in the English localization. And just to clarify what we did already know, of course, but it is worth repeating, if you own the PS4 version of Final Fantasy VII Remake already, not the version that was put onto PS Plus as part of the subscription, but you actually own a copy of the game, you will be able to upgrade to the PS5 version, Final Fantasy VII Remake Intergrade, at no additional cost. However, the Intermission DLC is not going to be included in that upgrade, but available as a separate purchase. However, if you are purchasing Intergrade on PS5 and not using the free upgrade offer, I do believe that Intermission will then be included. Oh, it's also worth noting that if you pre-order Intergrade, you get the bonus Cackstar weapon, which is a weapon that Yuffie will be able to use in Intermission. One thing I'm not sure of is how you're going to be able to get this weapon if you're using the free upgrade offer. So hopefully Square will clarify that, as I'm sure a lot of people will want to be able to gain access to this without having to purchase the whole game if they don't have to. But anyway, folks, that's the new information we've got for Final Fantasy VII Remake Intergrade, coming out June this year, so just a couple of months away now. I will be covering the game on my channel and live streaming it over at Twitch, so I hope you folks will check that out. But until next time, have a wonderful day, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye, folks.